Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.
Hello and welcome to Digitizing India, a Cisco initiative brought to you in association with cnbc TV 18. I'm Shireen Bhan. As you can see, technology allows us to take the show out of the studio, out of the country even, and we're beaming to you live from outside of India. But for today's episode, we're going to focus on 3 government organizations and how they're using the power of technology to empower citizens. We'll take a look at the Employees Provident Fund organization and how they're using the power of technology to provide easy access to information. Also, the Madhya Pradesh Police in providing better security, and the Chhattisgarh Infotech Promotion Society to bring about transparency in the working of the state government.
Digital India, विश्व की बराबरी करने की ताकत के साथ खड़ा हो जाए.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched the Digital India initiative in July 2014 to connect 2.5 lakh Gram Panchayats across India through high-speed internet networks. The vision being, use technology to bring digital literacy to rural India, provide e-governance on demand to citizens, and develop a digital infrastructure for the nation to facilitate growth. While the Digital India movement is largely infrastructure and connectivity-led, technologies like cloud computing, video streaming and citizen applications will add the functional layers in making digitization meaningful to the end user. On-demand and real-time governance is one such pro-user layer that government departments are working towards. Employees Provident Fund Organization, or EPFO, that administers the compulsory contributory provident fund scheme and pension and insurance schemes for all organizations in India with over 20 employees, is now moving towards a paperless process. With 37 million subscribers and a corpus of around 6 lakh crore rupees that it manages across 123 offices, this digitizing of customer records is a cumbersome and arduous process, but one that will make life easy and efficient for millions of Indians.
We were able to centralize a lot of local silos. The way we were working was all in 123 different silos, independent locations. And the installation of servers at a central level, the centralization, it sort of really enabled us to manage, to release a lot of central portal-based applications, such as the online registration of establishments, the universal account number, then the electronic challan returns. These are some things which really enabled us to centralize the data and create a primary database both for the establishments as well as for the members. And that is the strength, I would say, of centralization.
EPFO's efficiency seems to have improved by adopting digital practices, and the benefits have percolated down to the end user through digital customer-facing services that were earlier a physical process.
So far as the citizens' perspective is concerned, I mean, they have been pretty happy about the way they have been able to access. At least from EPFO's perspective, we have seen people accessing their data, their figures, their passbooks, the queries, everything online. And even on their mobile phones, we have released so many software options for SMS and all. And it has been pretty well accepted.
While digitization has its sure advantages, there are always skeptics questioning the issue of data security and privacy of customer data. Is EPFO geared up to counter that threat?
Security and privacy always are issues and they will always remain so. But I won't consider it as something which is negative. And in fact, if we are conscious about it right from the beginning, we can build in systems which are actually culturally also programmed, so that ultimately the systems that ultimately they take shape, they are in consonance with all the parameters.
V. Ranganath is a firm believer that digitization of government operations is the way ahead, and digital processes like data analytics and data mining will also help agencies collaborate to provide a single window for citizen services.
You have to prevent a lot of wastage of effort, time and material as well. So digitizing is the way to go forward, where the information and the effort done by one agency is shared by others as well, so that there is a convergence and there is a unified way of delivery and looking at things holistically. So that's the way I believe to go about it. The days of working alone, they are over. A common citizen need not run from pillar to post for one service or the other. He is able to get all the services under one window, because even in the past there have been concepts of whatever services that needed to be delivered, one single window kind of a concepts that were there in the past, which all failed, precisely because digitization was not there to that extent. Today you have that strength. I think we can do it.
So what is required for digital transformation to be accepted by all stakeholders? It requires a new way of thinking by people, organizations and businesses. The government has already set the ball rolling with its Digital India initiative, and industry experts are also pitching in.
The digitization process begins by changing the mindset of delivering citizen services differently than what has been done before. Existing business process must be reworked for a digital world. Then comes the part of scaling and designing the project appropriately. These challenges can be overcome by involving industry experts, by involving all stakeholders so that employees become an important part of the project, and lastly, by building a very strong public-private partnership.
After the break, we meet Anvesh Mangalam, Additional Director General of the Madhya Pradesh Police, who tells us how the police force is using technology to manage law and order across the state, especially at large-scale events such as the Ujjain Kumbh Mela.
Welcome back to Digitizing India, a Cisco initiative brought to you in association with cnbc TV 18. Now, Madhya Pradesh is India's second largest state, spread over 3 lakh square kilometers. Managing law and order is a challenge, but it becomes an even larger one when you're faced with something like the Ujjain Kumbh Mela. How does the Madhya Pradesh police tackle a situation like that, and how does it leverage the power of technology? Let's find out.
Kumbh Mela is one of the largest Hindu pilgrimages held alternately at the holy cities of Haridwar, Allahabad, Nasik and Ujjain, where devotees gather to bathe in the sacred rivers. The Ujjain Kumbh Mela, also known as the Simhas Kumbh Mahaparv, is held on the banks of the river Shipra and is organized once every 12 years for a month. Approximately 50 million devotees visited Ujjain during the recently concluded Mela. To efficiently manage the crowd, the MP police has installed over 600 CCTV cameras and set up a modern control room to monitor and manage the chaos.
We have set up a variable messaging system. We have put up 15 messaging boards across the city where any information can be displayed either in the text format or video format or image format across the city. So information dissemination is possible. At the same time, we have set up around 2,700 public address systems across the city. So if any information is to be given at any particular place or across the city, then we can announce from this integrated facility itself. So it will help us in managing crowd in a better way and making better arrangement with greater convenience to people. We have also introduced surveillance from sky through unmanned aerial vehicles, and like that we have taken many initiatives just for that purpose only.
It's not just the Kumbh where such surveillance systems are proving beneficial. The MP police is implementing such and other technologies across other parts of the state as well. When distress calls are received on the police helpline, police personnel are deployed to tackle the issue at hand.
We have set up an 80-seat call center where any call on 100 from anywhere from the state lands up here. Here trained call takers, they take the call and if there is any requirement of police help at any particular place across the state, then our vehicles along with policemen, they reach on the spot contact the victim or the person who requires help and take all necessary steps, and whatever legal and human help we can provide, we provide. And for this purpose we have deployed 1,000 odd specially designed vehicles. And all the vehicles are in contact with this facility all the time. All the vehicles are equipped with latest communication and IT gadgets.
As part of the Union Government's Smart Cities mission, the Madhya Pradesh government had shortlisted 7 cities, of which Indore, Jabalpur and Bhopal have made it to the shortlist among a total of 20 cities from across the country. The MP Police's digital initiatives will add to the government's efforts of developing smart cities in the state.
We have taken up many ICT projects to make our people safe. Dial 100 is one such facility you have already seen. Then CCTV based surveillance system we are setting up in 63 cities across the state in next 2 years or so. Then in 5 big cities we are introducing intelligent traffic management system to better regulate and manage traffic. We are also introducing e-challans so that defaulters can be handled with greater efficiency. Then messaging boards we are placing up in important towns so that any traffic blockade or traffic education campaigns we can take up.
Many organizations are using the public-private partnership route to implement digital solutions in their workings, so that the strengths of both entities can be combined for the benefit of the citizens. The MP Police has also tied up with private players to gain from the expertise that the private sector brings to the table.
Private sector gives a lot of flexibility of employment. Private sector has a flexibility of bringing new competencies at a short notice at lesser cost. Getting same level of efficiency in short term from out of existing staff in government is difficult. So partnership brings tangible benefits to the government. In Dial 100 we have taken such initiative for the first time in police, where we have outsourced all our 1,000 vehicles along with drivers and maintenance and fuel to private agency. And it has given us efficiencies and economies. Similarly, we have employed around 250 call takers to take 100 calls from public, and we have realized that now the call takers attitude, their commitment, it is unparalleled.
The public-private partnership route has been extensively used in the infrastructure sector in India, but it is beginning to make a mark in the execution of Digital India as well.
Public-private partnerships are playing and will play a critical role in the success of Digital India. The government will play a pivotal role in laying out the policy, in defining the business process, and in scoping the project. The industry will play an important role with expertise, domain knowledge, and strong project management skills. In mega projects of this nature, it's important that all stakeholders, that is the government, industry, application developers, consultants, system integrators, and service providers will all come together for a common good.
On the other side, we find out how the Chhattisgarh Infotech Promotion Society is overcoming challenges of connectivity to facilitate growth and development of the residents. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. You're watching Digitizing India, a special initiative brought to you by Cisco in partnership with cnbc TV 18. You've seen how the Madhya Pradesh Police as well as the EPFO are trying to use the power of technology to empower citizens. It's now time to put the focus on the Chhattisgarh Infotech Promotion Society and see how they're making Digital India much more inclusive using technology.
The 10th largest state in the country, Chhattisgarh was formed only 16 years ago. While it is rich in natural resources, a large part of its 2.5 crore population lives in remote areas. The state government is using ICT services to bring the benefits of a connected society to all the residents of the state. The Chhattisgarh Infotech Promotion Society was formed towards this end. It is the state nodal agency for electronics, IT and ITES and has undertaken projects like statewide area network, e-procurement and digital secretariat amongst others to benefit the population.
The major projects are City Wi-Fi project, where we've taken up a lot of public Wi-Fi hotspots, and there is something called as student life cycle management, which actually envisages to run an end-to-end solution. The whole life cycle of a student, the moment he enters college, right from registration till he moves out, and you will also continue as an alumni in the website. That's what we are envisaging. And the other projects are digital secretariat, where we envisage a complete paperless office, currently starting with the secretariat currently, and other mega projects are e-procurement, where we actually are trying to get all of the tender process of the state, about 20 lakh rupees to go by a process of e-procurement and e-auctioning basically.
Implementation of e-governance will drastically reduce the delay in processing tenders and files and bring transparency to the functioning of the government. But digital connectivity is a major hurdle that is faced by the state.
In Chhattisgarh, the challenges are actually more when compared to any other state. The biggest challenge is access challenge. In terms of road and rail connectivity, our state does not fare better when compared to the well-developed states. And when it comes to mobile connectivity and data and the bandwidth penetration, again we do not fare in the top 5. I think this is where the BharatNet project is going to make a huge difference. Once the connectivity issue is resolved, we actually resolve many other riddles in a single go. And second, if I tell you the digital literacy, rate of the state would again be, when you compare literacy as well as digital literacy, is again another challenge. And because of connectivity, the idea of having legal middlemen in the form of common service centers is also not able to take shape completely. So, all the challenges are basically centered around the access challenge, basically the connectivity challenge basically.
But Chhattisgarh is working on overcoming these challenges. Case in point being the district of Balrampur Ram Anujganj, where the Gram Panchayat has been connected to the National Optical Fiber Network. The Common Service Center set up there offers e-governance services like applying for Aadhaar cards, ration cards, death certificates, along with financial services like bill payments, disbursements of small value credit, collection of deposits and sale of micro insurance products amongst other services.
We put in a 3-tier philosophy, saying that there will be an account for all, there will be Aadhaar for all, and there will be Aadhaar-enabled payments of all government schemes through a direct benefit transfer method at the Panchayat Bhavan, using the CSC as a banking correspondent. So we could succeed hugely. We opened more than 5.6 lakh accounts for a population of 7.6 lakh, and we could actually get 100% Aadhaar done. And we also were able to make huge payments, disbursements at the Panchayat level itself using this banking correspondent, CSC banking correspondent. In fact, we took over the whole CSC movement, the wave, in our hands, and we tried to do it properly.
No wonder then that Balrampur is also known as Biometric Pur now. Meanwhile, the Chhattisgarh Infotech Promotion Society is looking to replicate the success of Balrampur across the state, and for this, they have a 4-point plan in mind.
First, to solve the connectivity challenge, to take broadband optical fiber cable to every panchayat, 1, and 2, to spread out common service centers in every panchayat, even in the most difficult Naxal affected areas, and 3, to make more and more services online, to increase the kitty of the online G2C services, and 4, to integrate all the databases which actually are functioning in silos.
The way technology is planning, the state needs to be ahead of the technology curve. It's a shifting goalpost, and definitely the expectations from the government is very, very high. In terms of investments, we are among the front runner in the country. Definitely, we have set our standards very, very high. So there these modern tools comes very handy, and state is very clear that as far as efficiency or ease of doing business, technology has to play a big role.
All of this highlights that the common belief about government organizations being laggards in technology adoption may no longer hold true. Connecting Gram Panchayats to the National Optical Fibre Network is ensuring that citizens will get access to better services, all in the endeavour to bring about inclusive growth and development.
Well, that's all we have for you on this episode of Digitizing India. Join the conversation online on Twitter. Till next week, from the entire team, goodbye and many thanks for watching.
Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.